all back together. But in the meantime, this has been a ton of fun.
Absolutely.
And tonight, as always, we have a lot of great things to bring to you.
Huge lineup.
Great, our new coming up graphic, right? The rally, still trying to beat Mary, people.
Hasn't started yet.
Trish said that people are already turning in rally stuff. Stop it. We haven't started it yet. So you've been deleted if you already turned it in. SNSD Susan Carry-On, she delivered one of the greatest speeches that I can remember at Keystone.
Yeah.
The first time she came there, I loved it. I loved the way she talked about how she got started in the business, about how Naomi didn't speak any English and Susan didn't speak any Spanish, and yet she's a $1 million earner. So it all worked out good. More Super Saturday news, and we are going to launch a new contest for Super Saturday.
Oh yeah, this is a by request, by popular demand.
By popular demand.
Contest, so this is going to be great.
So, shall we kick the rally off and then talk about the new contest?
Yeah, let's kick the rally off.
You guys know how this works. Well, let's do a little social media reminder.
Yep.
You can find us at #SNSD Factory.
Yep. Oh, wait, hold on.
There we go. On a Facebook mention at Let's Get Bigger Go Home, our new text number, so if you saved it from 2 weeks ago, it is now wrong. You need the new 404 text number. Trish is monitoring that regularly. Okay, the rally. Let's go on to the rally. All right. RVPs only. Please text the number of people that you will have engaged. You got about an hour to count them all up.
Yep.
Give or take a few minutes. And we show you a very nice example down there of RVP Young, 999 people, not 99 people. So 999 people. You still get to win the SNSD Factory Cup.
Yep.
And 10 minutes with Andy immediately following this meeting. So here's our new contest for Super Saturday. I think we have a graphic for it. Okay. The RVP base shop, not your hierarchy, but your base shop, who has the most Super Saturday registrations. Now, this is not bulk numbers. These are individual numbers, individual names, right? Because we want everyone to have a ticket in their own name or a registration in their own name so that they can be recognized. So don't go in and do 100 tickets, 100 registrations all in one name.
Yep.
I will disqualify you. I won't have to. Trish will disqualify you immediately, right? So can we go back to the graphic one more time? All right, so the most Super Saturday registrations by June 7th, which I will remind you is recognition cutoff date anyways, you will win, and this is the most asked for thing of the COVID times, the Tuesday training audios of all of our incredible guest speakers.
Yeah. Mike Sharp, Bill Arender, all the big hitters.
Applause.
Oh, wait, hold on, sorry. Crowd is very excited about this.
Go! So that begins right now with registration starting at 7 p.m.
Or wait, no.
5 days.
5 days. 5 days.
From 7 p.m. to right now until midnight on Sunday, June 7th, the RVP base shop with the most individual registrations will win the Tuesday training audios.
So talk to your people, point them to getbiggergohome.com. You'll be able to register right there. It's all free. If this is new to you, it's free.
It's easy. Don't wait.
Subscribe to the YouTube channel. On that same website, you can access our social media feed, so you can subscribe and follow and like or whatever you got to do, depending on the platform and the nomenclature.
So many options.
And then of course we've got the social feed on the website as well, so you can see the social wall that we have, so that we'll be able to interact. That's how we're going to be doing a lot of the recognition during the show on Super Saturday. So basically that's how all that works, and it's all on getbiggergohome.com. So make sure you know that, make sure your people know that, and make sure everybody has a registration in their own name.
Everybody, right? So the other thing that is so now we've kicked off 2 contests for tonight. The rally, which we've all practiced quite a few times.
Yep.
The second one is RVP's base shop, whoever has the most registration for Super Saturday. This whole contest idea too is I'm giving you a little bit of preview about what's coming into Super Saturday and all the great stuff that's going to be available.
Yep.
Because as always, we will have outdone ourselves again. Which is crazy. Would you like to introduce your father-in-law?
Yeah. Now it's time for the riverboat gambler himself. Doubling down and tripling down, Andy Young.
Woohoo!
All right, live ready to go. Welcome. I got the extra applause that makes me feel so much. I got goosebumps. Goosebumps the size of breakfast. Hey, just want to welcome everybody tonight, Tuesday training. I know, we've got a tough times in the country, a lot of different things going on, a lot of challenges, and we, pour our hearts out and prayers and thoughts about all the things that are going on there. One of the things Glenn Williams did today, which was just fabulous on PFN, he make sure if you didn't get a chance, get on there. It was open to everybody. His close, talking about how we're a company of unity and we've all got to be better. We got to step up. We got to be better. Everybody, even if you think you're as good as you could possibly get, it's a challenge for all of us to get better. And a very heartfelt, representing our company, the goodness, the things that we do, and how to be an example in these times of trouble for so many people right now, which is so sorely needed. So make sure you get out there and take a look at that, because that's one thing about Primerica. It's just, we think about all the opportunity. When I came in here, man, I just wanted a chance. And I was thinking about the great Warren Powers was on TV yesterday. Another one. If you didn't see it, man, you need to get on there. Warren, back in my base shop, and I remember he only had 9 recruits, and I gave him crap about getting 10, and you got to be a double-digit recruiter. 9's not good enough. And, he'd just come out of the NFL, played for the Denver Broncos, started in the Super Bowl. I asked him about going to the Super Bowl after he retired, and he come in our base shop, and he came out. At that time, he was making $700,000-800,000 a year for a lineman, which is still pretty good money in the NFL. But, I mean, we're talking about 25 years ago he was making that kind of money. He was a beast coming out of school, talking about inner city Baltimore, no opportunities. You really need to take a look at that. It's about 15 minutes from yesterday. But talking about he wanted a shot, wanted a chance. This was his way out. And he was talking about, how the NFL draft this year, they did the call. They called it the call, waiting for the call. They had all these kids, obviously because everybody's home. They couldn't do it like at Carnegie Hall or some big arena or whatever. And it was all on virtual, Zoom like we've done here. And all of them were in the different places with the cameras on them watching when they get the call. And Warren said, he was a second-round draft pick, high second-round draft pick as a lineman by the Denver Broncos. And he said he got the call and he became a millionaire right then when they called him. And how, he's able to buy his mom a house, him a house, promised his mom when he was like 8 or 9 years old, he was going to buy her house. Had a lot of their dreams come true, paid for the cars. He came in, he was financially independent. He saved his money, done the right things. And a lot of people were talking about all the other opportunities out there. And I took him to see Bob Turley, because Bob had owned a lot of different things, shopping centers, nightclubs, restaurants, apartment complexes, storage units, bowling alleys, you name it. If you could buy it, Bob had pretty much owned it, and put him in with Bob Turley, a guy who'd won the Cy Young Award, won the MVP of the World Series, cover of Sports Illustrated, put those two guys together, and how Warren came out and got the job done. And what Warren challenged everybody yesterday, and I'm telling you, you need to go look at this, he talked about there's other people waiting on our call. Sometimes we're like, well, I don't know if I should call them or not. I'm not sure. Like Mark Marchesani said on this program a few weeks ago, I don't want to bother anybody. Well, you know what? If there's a death claim, you're sure glad you bothered somebody when you deliver a $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 check. Or we had one from COVID up in Northern Virginia last week, Laura Langston. I mean, it's $800,000 check. I mean, you got a family, kids. You're talking about a monster game changer, $800,000 check. Guy was only 49 years old, and it was just a challenge. But you think about the opportunity we have to make a difference, and that's a really big deal in what we do and how we do it. And Warren Powers is such a great example of everything that's good about Primerica. I love being in business with Warren. Warren's team's on fire. They're going for their SNSD. They're going for $1 million income. So we're excited about that. And then dadgum, I'm on Larry Waddell's big hitter call Monday, and Peggy Hightower, first female African-American $1 million earner in Primerica. She says, can you call me for about 5 minutes? I'm like, all right. So I get done with the call. I call her, and Peggy, of course, she was back there in the office, same thing, kind of Warren, but before Warren came along, she was back there, and we started the Breakfast Club, and I mean, grew up together in the business, did so many things. And Peggy, I said, she goes, hey, I just wanted to check in on something. I said, Peggy, don't buy another house. She's been in the real estate business. She's made all this money. She's like, she went and bought one house, I think it was like 80 miles from her house. And I said, what did you buy that house for? She goes, the weather was just so nice there. I said, it's only like 80 miles away as the crow flies. And so she's talked about different houses. So I said, don't buy a house. She goes, oh, no, I'm not calling about buying a house. I want to buy a plane. And I'm like, on plane? I remember this woman had a donut on her Volvo. It was a used old Volvo, had the little donut, the little tiny wheel that you're supposed to drive no more than 50 miles. She drove about 8,000 miles. I got witnesses. 8,000 miles on that Volvo. She was just struggling, single mom, trying to put it together, talking about buying a plane. So we put together a plan for her to, you're probably going to see her flying around somewhere in a dadgum jet here. I'm thinking in the next 2 or 3 weeks. Now, ain't that crazy, okay? That's the kind of opportunity we have. And I remember we go down to the local buffet. It was called Duff's. They didn't have Golden Corral. And we like just trying to figure it out, you know, putting our dollar bills and $5 and all the dreams of the future. And we figured, well, if we go eat a $5 buffet, we'll all feel better waiting for some more money to come in. They're talking about Elmore Powers, financially independent, all the great people on his team, making such great strides in this business. Same thing with GLI, Global Leaders. I mean, you talk about what's an amazing opportunity here. You go out there, you get a dadgum number, don't know nothing about you. You put that number down there, you're going to get paid. And so I'm so proud of some of our people and what they've done. So many people in Primerica, what they've been able to do as they build a career, build a team, and have wealth, not only for themselves, but so many layers of it on their own team. That's what's exciting here. And we got just great opportunity to see Susan carry on tonight. She's one of my all-time favorites. She was talking about what do I talk about? I said, of course, recruiting, building districts, being a builder, and not being a punk. You know, and she's pretty tough, and I'm hoping she's going to light that up. But before we go to Susan, we got a quick video we want to show you.
I just want to tell you a little bit about our Primerica story and how Primerica has truly changed our life. See, you've seen so many speakers come up and talk to you about their life, what it's done for their life, what you need to do for your life. And I just want to let you know that, listen, Art was a hard worker. I'm married to the most amazing man. You all got to see him yesterday in the partnership. I mean, I'm telling you, he's a double stud. And he worked, he's a hard-working man. He worked 10-hour days, right? And we really didn't have a life. We were separated at many times when he needed to work overtime, but he still managed to come home and coach our 3 daughters in softball. But what we realized is that that wasn't a life at all. He was working to pay the bills, and I was working a part-time job and pretty much a stay-at-home mom. Until someone came and changed our life by the name of Noemi Rubio. She came and she changed our life and offered us this awesome opportunity. See, sometimes we really think of what is it that we really do. We protect families, we invest the difference, we show families how to get out of debt, right? And we show them a bigger picture of what their life could really look like. Because see, if they don't take the opportunity that we give them, they are going to live that life for the rest of their life. And that's exactly what was going to happen for Art and I. But see, I really believe that what we do is we do what's right because we offer people the opportunity by pouring our life into their life. See, the one commandment that the Lord asks of us is to have God's agape love. And if you really have God's agape love, you've got to offer people this opportunity and stop being selfish. See, Naomi Rubio changed my life, and we have to go out there and change the masses' lives. See, we've got to make sure that we love people in a sincere way. Not in a way to look at them as their numbers, but to look at them as that, man, I'm going to impact their life forever. And they're going to have a choice to either say yes or say no. And what you have to understand is you're not responsible for people's success, nor you're responsible for their failure. All you can do is offer it to them, just like it was offered to you. See, the one thing that I know is that for 3 to 5 years, Art and I had to lay down the foundation of what we've got today. And it was a short period of time, although it felt like a lifetime, because you come home late at night, you're tired, you're exhausted. Sometimes you don't close. Sometimes the person you recruited yesterday is going to quit on you, right? But that's all part of the process. You've got to go through those things. Don't you ever think that this business is going to be easy, because if it was easy, 1 billion people would be doing it. See, it's only for the strong. It's only for the tough people, the people that'll stick it out, the people that no matter what happens, they keep going, the people that go through adversity and eat that pile of crap with a big spoon instead of a teaspoon. See, Naomi never told us it was going to be easy, but she promised us it was going to be worth it. And I stand here today, one of the company's millionaires. Sometimes I can't even believe it. I still shop at Target. I still shop at Macy's. I'm still that girl. There's not a whole lot that's changed about me. I'm still a little rough around the edges. But the one thing that changed was a legacy that I'm going to be able to live for give to my children for the rest of their life. And see, you have that opportunity too. Don't look to the left and don't look to the right when you go home. Look straight forward. Look head on what you've got to do. And these are some of the things that I believe that you need to do. You need to commit, and you need to eliminate all distractions. You need to be the most positive person even when crap's falling apart, because crap will hit you when you get home, trust me, if it hasn't already. Always look for the edge. Mike Sharp always said, always look for your edge. Believe in others and compete. You've got to compete. Look, I'll never forget telling my pops, Dad, what's wrong with me? I'm not competitive. And he said, if it didn't bother you, you wouldn't be competitive. And he knew I had a tiger inside of me. And Naomi Rubio was willing to bring it out. And this company was allowing to give us an opportunity. See, you got to get big, and you got to give big, and you got to go big. And you got to understand what that means. You got to recruit big. You got to field train big. You got to license and get your licensing up to 50% because the coach has called the play. We can get people 50% licensed. Listen, if they did it in the past, we could do it now. And if we're not doing it, it's because we're not focused on it. And we got to fall in love with promoting people. Look, somebody promoted you. Why wouldn't you help somebody get promoted to the next level? Whether it's a district leader promotion, a division leader promotion, a regional leader promotion, and then the greatest promotion of all, regional vice president. See, somebody gave us RVPs an opportunity to get to RVP. We got to go find more people and give them the same opportunity. Look, I'm so proud of the two women in Primerica that I have here this convention. Just crossed over the $100,000 ring. Give it up for the unbelievable Erica and Noah Reyes. Rosalie Fares, both of them earned their $100,000 ring. See, this business is about duplication. It's about taking people and pulling them to places they'll never go if you don't get in there and grind with them. And yes, I said grind because it's a grind. You got to do it. You can't just tell your team to do it and you not go do it. You've got to do it too, just like Naomi did with us. Look, I'm super proud of Tony Manal Masood just getting ready to cross over ownership this month. I mean, I could not be more prouder, right? But what I do know and understand is that we need more people at 250,000 because listen, in 6 months from now, we'll be coming back to the leadership meeting. How many of you will be at the leadership meeting making $250,000 a year? Are you going to write it in a book? Or are you going to look it straight on and you're going to go home and you're going to get to work? See, I ain't afraid of work. And that's why I got my tennies on, because when we get home, me and my babe right there, we're ready to hit the ground running. We're going to go out there. We're going to promote more district leaders than we've ever done before. And that's not stage talk. That's not stage talk. That's heart talk. And when you've got the heart for people, you go out there and you do what God commands us to do. Love people with God's agape love. Help other people. Believe in people. And I know we're going to do something special. Look, I believe that we're in our glory days right now. We have been in the business for 24 years, but have a 13-year-old hierarchy. And we've got young tigers that are ready to go out there and do something. I'm counting on A&D to go out there and promote more SVPs, RVPs, and I'm counting on the RVPs to get to SVPs. I'm counting on the carry-ons to promote more regional vice presidents. I'm counting on all my teammates here. Promotions and motions. The only way this company's going to grow is if we take it personal. Listen, this group has all been blessed. And it's our job to play it forward and go out there and find more people and bless them. And I have a question for you. See, the one thing that I know is I love this with all my heart. You try to do something to the company or say something about my company, and believe me, I'm ready to throw down. If you all know what I'm talking about. Ain't nobody gonna tarnish our company. Not one person, not one state. I love this thing with all of my heart. And we truly are life changers. But I ask you this question. When you leave here today, will you go home and allow yourself to change? Or are you gonna be the same person? Because let me tell you something, there is sacrifices. And if you're willing to make the sacrifices, this company will deliver for you in more than a million ways. God bless you guys. I'll see you at the top.
All right, man, ain't that something? You know, I'm sitting here looking at 12 different screens, and I'm watching Susan looking at herself. You know, I mean, it's unbelievable. She nailed it on that speech back at the Dome, always nails it. I mean, $1 million earner, just an amazing lifestyle. I know she'll talk about that. A quick story about Susan before I introduce her and we get going here. About 2.5 years ago, Georgia was in the play-in game for the national championship, and the play-in game was the Rose Bowl out in California, Pasadena. And, you know, Susan, Art, and the family, they're big Rams fans. So they set it up. They got to say, oh, because we traveled, me and John Addison, we've done 22 years of going to home and away games. On the away games, we kind of set it up. But if you're going to Pasadena, California from Atlanta, Georgia, you can be hauling some stuff, okay? So we're like trying to figure it out. And we've had people around the country try and set up some stuff for us in various locations when we're a little further. And it always went wrong. You know, they came up with this or that and everything else. And Susan said, you know, you're fans. I said, I'm kind of grilling her. What kind of fans are you? Oh, we're big fans. We got 2 big tents. Like, okay. We got the big chairs, big enough for you, big boy. We got like 16 of them. We put a rug down. I'm thinking, I'm liking all this, man. They got it laid out, okay? And then she says, and our food's unbelievable. We bring tamales and enchiladas, and we bring, I'm like, okay. And she's like, and we got all kinds of great nachos, and we do some fajitas. And I'm like, okay, but we like meat on the bone. And she says to me, what is meat on the bone? I'm like, well, meat on the bone's like, got a bone on it, like rib, chicken. You know, a steak can have a bone on it. And so I've got this. They get mad at me here because I'm supposed to do graphics and stuff the right way, but I don't do nothing the right way. So this is a picture of little Andy eating his first chicken wing. And that's eating meat on the bone. He cleaned that thing off. He was so proud of him. I was there. You know, I don't care about the first step. I don't care about his first words. He cleaned that chicken bone off, so I know he's going to be a big tailgater one day and just getting ready. And so we told Susan, and then we sent out the list. And we had a bunch of people coming in, and one of the people that was helping out, I might be one of her daughters, I forget who, but came in and said, now this beer and wine and liquor, I mean, this seems like a lot. Are you sure this is what they want? Like, oh, yeah. And that was one of the greatest days ever to go to a football game. I mean, and John Addison and I talked about it. The greatest day ever, the greatest game, I mean, all the thing. I've been to 27 Super Bowls. That was unbelievable. They put that together. And they are monster Rams fans, and you know they know all about their football, and that's a great thing. But Susan's just somebody she's a fierce competitor. Yep. I mean, if you're gonna mess with her, you better bring 2 lunches, and maybe have somebody else carry a couple other lunches for you. She is such a badass in the business, and I know I don't want to scare anybody, but at the end of the day, you're either gonna deliver for your family or not. And she's somebody that absolutely is incredible. It's funny, Noemi Rubio comes over. Noemi hardly speaks any English. She's thinking, okay, well, carry on. She's Hispanic, but Susan doesn't speak any Spanish. You know, I was talking about back in the early days when I was building my business, everybody knew I was in Primerica. Everybody knew I was in A.L. Williams. Todo el mundo sabe que estoy en Primerica, okay? That's in Spanish, okay? She doesn't understand that probably. But at the end of the day, we got an opportunity tonight to hear from somebody who is such a fierce competitor, has done some great things with her family, and I know she'll light it up. So, Susan, there you are. Look at you.
Awesome.
How you doing?
Man, Andy, I am fired up. I just got done saying I've never seen that video. I don't like watching my own videos, but I will tell you that actually fired my ass up, man. And I'm excited that, you know, that we just coming off of a month where, I mean, man, you guys have had some key players. I'll talk about them in a second here, but so proud of our team. We went over 90 recruits, about 55,000 in the base shop. and we've got it rocking, you know, and I really want to talk to the team about why they want to get it going right now, right? Why is it important? Why now? Why today? In 2008, Art and I had an opportunity to go through the financial crisis. Everything crashed on us. The SMART was taken away. And we had two options, right? At that point, we were making $191,000, Andy, in 2008 in our base shop, right? We're in our business. We really hadn't even got to the second diamond yet. And all of a sudden, everything crashed. And we had to look at ourselves and say, okay, like, what the hell are we going to do? Are we going to suck our thumb and sit on the sand and wait for things to go back to normal? Or are we going to do something about it? And I really believe right now we're in those exact times. You see all of the people, all of the numbers. The reason why we're having a recruiting explosion isn't just because people are willing to listen. It's because people that have been here for some time understand that this is our window of opportunity to find great people. And you can't find them by just recruiting 10 to 11 people on a monthly basis. You got to massively recruit people. You got to make sure that you're recruiting, you're having so many double-digit legs that are going out there and promoting district leaders right now, because you're going to look back in 2 to 3 years from now and say, wow, that's when it happened. We look at 2008 and we say, wow, that's when it happened for Art and I. Now, we were so focused. We got rid of the television. We got rid of hanging out with family. If anybody talked negative to us, they were pieced out of our life. We eliminated absolutely every distraction. And I really believe that that's what it takes in order to stay focused on the main thing, which is our business. And I know, look, I understand. People think, well, you know, this is Primerica. You say, you know, we have, you know, freedom. Bull. You ain't got no freedom until you're making $1 million in overrides. Other than that, you got to be working. You got to be grinding it out until you get there. Because I really believe that when you look at the $1 million today, dude, that's nothing compared to what it's going to be. We're going to see people making 2 million, 3 million, 4 million, 5 million, because we're going to have so many people locked in at making 300. It's going to be ridiculous. And I don't want to miss this moment. And we have been on our recruiting surge for the past 60, 90 days. And I keep telling the team, look, a lot of people are waiting for business to go back to normal. No, it's going to be business that's better. Why would we want it normal? Why in the hell would we want to go back? We're mobile. We could be everywhere. Look, I'm there with you. You can be here in Riverside, California at the flip of a Zoom. Why would we want to go back to normal? I think that's absolutely crazy. And I understand nothing replaces the touch, a hug or a high five or looking at somebody that's down. But darn it, this comes pretty darn close, right? And when we go back to business as normal, we'll still have our events. We'll have our Super Saturdays. But dude, we can have op nights whenever we want, trainings whenever we want to help people get better. And that's exciting. See, I'm not getting left behind. And it's one thing that I could tell you. And obviously, I want to give a special shout out to Elisa Jones for going over 100 on both ends. Totally proud of her. I remember when I was back there at Keystone and I challenged her. But let me tell you something. I challenged her then, but she's been working on this since then. And see, a lot of us want instant gratification. It doesn't come instant sometimes. You got to go through some stuff. You got to go through some bumps. You got to get tested. You can't think that just because you want it, that it's going to happen in osmosis. Bull, you got to get out there and you got to get on the horse and you got to lead. And what do I mean by leading? Look, this month I'll probably be, and I don't want to say this and gloat because tomorrow they might knock me off of the podium. I might be the highest paid woman this month, right? Dude, that doesn't mean that I sat there and I just worked in my business. I worked on my business. I'm responsible for 2 directs and 3,200 in personal premium. Don't call me, all right? And I tell my kids this all the time. I ain't one of those DNBs. Don't call me one of those because that ain't big mama, right? I want to be in front of it. I know Andy, with everything that's in my core, that there's going to be a huge separation of income. And it's going to happen right now. And I don't care if you're the smallest person on this team or you're the largest person on this team. There are going to be some people that are going to start blowing by us, trust me, if we don't do the right things. And what do we need to do, right? Double-digit recruiting. You guys come from a huge hierarchy that's all about recruiting. And the fundamentals of this business are never going to change. We need to recruit more. We need to license more. We need to field train more. We need to promote more. The fundamentals are never going to change. That, I'm telling you, everybody else says, okay, well, what did it take? The same fundamentals that it took for Art Williams to build, to recruit, to field train, to promote. Same thing. It's not going to change. So we have to have a mindset that, man, it doesn't matter what happened last month. Look, it's not that you're bad. It's just that you weren't focused. And when you can write that down and you can admit to it and you can agree to it, you can move forward from it. But until you do that, you're going to still keep repeating the same thing over and over and over, right? I mean, you had people like, man, I pull up some numbers because me and Art are numbers. Mary Hayes, 130 recruit, 34 recruits. Girl, that's an explosion going to happen. You do that for triple months, and before you know it, dude, game over. You've got a few in there that really, really want it. Same thing for Belda, man. So proud of this lady, man. Art met her son. We met her. I mean, totally focused. This lady will do phenomenal things, and go figure. Her last name is Rubio, right? So let me tell you something about the Rubio family, right? They're relentless. Naomi Rubio, my upline, who is absolutely phenomenal. I owe my life to that lady. She was relentless, man. I'll never forget being in a kitchen table presentation with her, Andy, and she brought over, the husband said he didn't want the life app, and she said, come over here, mija, viente para acá. And she brought the kids close to the table, and she said, she told this dude, tell your kids that you don't love them enough. They got guts, man. I'm telling you, that's one thing that I know about the Rubios, man. They are relentless and they have guts. And then we had Wes, man, phenomenal month, man. I'm telling you, those of you leaders that are within this group, you need to ride the momentum that they have and catch it yourself like you want to catch on fire. Because one of the things that I know is that, listen, we got to have intention. We cannot have intentions. We got to have intentions to do something between now and convention, and it starts right now. Look, what a greater time to prove to yourself that you could do this via Zoom. I know when Zoom started, I mean, I jacked it all up. I'm telling you, I needed people to call me. They said I looked like an ant, that my nose was all the way up there, and that my hair was this way. Dude, it didn't matter. If it took me a week to get good at it, I had to get good at it. I had to learn how to share the screen, and you're going to have to do it too. Because look, it doesn't really matter when we get to go back to our offices. What matters is that we're going to go back better. And I believe mastering Zoom and getting that done is going back better, right? We have to understand that, look, doubling down means that you're not the same. And what do I mean by that? You can't be the same person that you were yesterday. You got to constantly be self-improving. You got to constantly be listening to other leaders, and you got to know where you're going. You got to know where you want your team to go. And that's one thing. But let me tell you something, leaders, okay? I'm going to tell you this also, and I hope you take it with a grain of salt. It's like this. We all have teammates, right? And they're all our little eggs. We're all like a bunch of mother hens, right? Well, it's okay. It's okay. It's all right. So we get to the point where they're in their egg, right? And they've been with us for maybe a year. They've been with us for maybe 2 years. And they're not having the outbreak that you think that they should have. That's okay. Let them sit there. Let them figure it out. Because when they break out of that egg, there's life. But when you start picking the shell away, it's immediate death. And that's what I understand. There are so many people that I just thought, okay, they've been here already. Why aren't they doing it? It took me 6 years. Thank God Naomi Rubio didn't try to break my shell around my egg. I was in there trying to get out on my own. But one of the things that I do, I fell in love with this business from day one. I fell in love with the crusade. I just had to get myself mentally right in order to talk to people. Look, the one thing I love about Zoom is I don't give a nobody about what anybody thinks about me, because I really don't care if they don't show up to my Zoom meeting. If it's dark, I don't care. It's their loss, guys. People are hurting out there. They are hurting in a world that's not given any hope and opportunity, but we've got hope and opportunity. We are the biggest hope dealers that the world has ever seen. And I mean that with respect. We are hope dealers, right? And no, I didn't say drug dealers. I said hope dealers, because we have hope and opportunity that if it can happen for a girl like myself with no college education, right? But just a heart, that it could happen for them out there too. But it's going to take intense recruiting. It's going to take massive recruiting, because out of 100, you're going to find yourself maybe 10 good people, right? And out of those 10, you're going to find 2 that are dynamic. And I don't know who the 2 are, but I tell you what, if we don't start getting our recruiting numbers up in double digit, it's going to take us a long time to figure that out. See, Mario Arizon came to us as number 567th recruit in our career. So my question to you is, how long do you want to go through those 567? Do you want to spread it out 20 years, or do you want to do it in a year? Do you want to do it in 6 months? Because it really is up to you. There are great people out there looking for this great opportunity. And I believe with everything in my heart that we have to understand is that they're out there, and our job is to find them, right? And if you ain't finding them and you're sitting on the couch, shame on you. Because let me tell you something, God don't bless the ugly. And I don't mean ugly in the face. The ugly that don't want to work, that don't want to overcome their fears, that don't want to master their craft, that don't want to self-improve. God blesses those that are willing to wake up in the morning and go to work. And going to work here at Primerica means people. It doesn't mean writing a lifestyle. It doesn't mean opening an investment. Although we do those things, and that's a byproduct of recruiting people, we've got to find more people and have an army. I think about my daughter, all right? I'm so proud of her. Last month, she went over 35 in her base shop, over 30 recruits in her base shop, with the focus of recruiting. All right, I keep telling my kids, I don't care what you do, recruit like crazy. That's the focus right now, is recruiting like crazy. And you know what? They're listening because they've seen me and Art done it once before. They seen us in 2008 when the shit hit the fan, excuse my language, but they seen how we reacted. Your kids are watching you, parents, how you're reacting to this COVID-19. And I hope and pray that you're fired up, you're excited, you're ready to do it. Man, I told you at convention last year, it wasn't just going to be talk, right? We had 6 district leader promotions this month. We're continuing to plow through licensing. But I know one thing, that come convention 2021, man, it's going to be our hierarchy. And there's no doubt, and that's a message I'm sending, Andy, is that we got to do something absolutely phenomenal. And you can't afford to be on the couch right now. So I hope that message is what you're hearing, because there's too many people winning out there. Look at the Leaders Bulletin. How is it that Mika went and just passed by everybody? She's out working everybody, guys. She's out working. She out recruited. She's out working. She's out building everybody. But what I do know is that means that everybody on here has a shot. And it doesn't matter where you're at, if you're brand new to the business, if you're seasoned with the business, you have the same shot. But my question to you is, will you take your shot? Or are you going to wait around for something else to happen and say, man, I missed that window of opportunity? I'm not missing it, Andy. We're not missing it. Our family's not missing it. We're going to do some great things. Our hierarchy is on fire. I am so proud of them. I mean, our recruiting numbers are just over the moon. Our premium numbers over the moon. Our investment numbers over the moon. But it's so intentional. It didn't happen by accident. We're going for greatness. And I know you've got a lot of great leaders. I think of Mary Hayes, and I think of her story. So many great people in this hierarchy. And then I think of Amy, and I look at Cassandra. We both have daughters in the business. And it's like, what we have set up for them is absolutely phenomenal. But I'm telling you, if you want our life, you've got to do what we did. And what we did was we went to work. We didn't depend on somebody else to do it. We didn't look to the left. We didn't look to the right. We did it. And I could say that. And we're doing it again. We have never let our base shop down. We'll never let our base shop go. Why would we ever want to get out of the base shop business? This is the breeding ground for regional vice presidents. Why would we stop that? You want to keep that going. You want to promote out RVPs. We got Maritza Melchor, Pastor SIE today. We have so many great things in the pipeline right now, Andy. I am absolutely elated. I think we're going to look back at COVID-19 and look at the blessing. Yeah, it wasn't a blessing for a lot of people, but for a lot of people, it really made us realize and evaluate that, man, we don't have to do business the same. Business is definitely going to be better, and it's going to be far more technically better than we've ever had it. For somebody that's not a technical person, believe me, I'm loving it, and I hope you guys do too.
So Susan, before you go, just real quick, I see
Yes.
the picture over your shoulder there, those ladies, and busting your butt. Going to be number one highest paid female in the whole damn company. Damn, we're looking at her right now. Look at that. And talk about some of the things you've done with those ladies, and made a difference. Some of your trips, some of your memories, real quick. What you got going on there? Just sell the dream a little bit.
Absolutely. Well, first of all, I think because of you, right? It's all your fault. I always blame this on you. When our kids decided they found their partner for life, they wanted to get married. And Andy Young, I believe at the bar, told them, okay, open checkbook, right? Like there's no limit, no cap. So, I mean, no pressure, right, Andy? So the first one got married, and I mean, shoot, Andy, in a matter of 12 months, because they both got married back to back, we dished out close to about $257,000 for 2 weddings. So that was a big deal for them, right? I've taken them to Europe, all over the place. But the biggest thing was we had a trip planned for June. We were going June 20th. We were going on a Disney cruise. We were going to Greece. We were going to go to Barcelona. I mean, I paid like $57,000 for it. I paid for the Arizons to come with us and their 2 boys. And we were so elated about this trip, and they canceled it on us, because of COVID-19. And my brain just got working immediately. I said, oh, hell no. My grandkids want to go to Disneyland. And you can identify with me with this because I seen you and your grandson at Walt Disney World for his birthday, the whole family, right? And we get to do those things. So I got on there. I went to Hawaii's got this phenomenal resort called Alana or whatever. I booked us there. I got our airline tickets. We're going in September. I told the kids, I don't care. We're going come high or hell water. We're doing this, right? And they're like, Mom, are you sure? I said, and if we don't, it's okay. But to be able to drop that kind of money at the dime, just knowing that you can, right? Because that's what we do it for, Andy. We don't do this for us. We do it for our teammates. We do it for our children. And everything that I always do, I always include Mario and Franny. If we're taking a trip, we're doing something. Okay, Mario and Franny, you guys, we're going this date. We're going to Hawaii or whatever. And something conflicted. They had a wedding or whatever. I said, change it, right? But it's just so fun to be able to give them a dream life. Both my grandkids are going to be 2 and 3 in July. And like, I'm just looking, okay, what else could we do and have fun? The travel is just absolutely amazing. Art's turning 60 this year in November. We booked out a whole hotel over in Cabo. God willing, we'll be able to go there, taking the team with us and just have fun with the team. I'm like you, I'm pretty, I'm not really about like the worldly things for myself. Like cars don't really motivate me. I know some people they do, but dude, I've got a freaking flower farm here at my house, Andy, that is over the moon. I've been talking about it for 2 years. It's coming together, right? I had my first season was this season, and I'm just loving life, right? I'm just loving life, but I'm also loving life and still running my business. I don't let that flower farm distract me from doing the things that I need to do, because I know that my grandkids and this company is not going to be secure if I do not continue to build direct legs, to build teammates, to promote out regional vice presidents, and to make Primerica strong. I want this company standing strong when your grandchildren and my grandchildren are our age. And that's ultimately the goal.
All right, that's awesome. And I'll tell you what, when you see Art, give him a big old bear hug and a kiss on the cheek from me. Love you guys. You're the best. Look forward to getting with you and having a drink somewhere. Take care. Thanks.
All right. Love you guys.
Love you too.
I think we're up.
You're up. This sheet right here that Darla made up for me says they're on now, not me. So, okay. Your turn. Tag team.
We're up. I love the line, Hope Dealer.
Yep.
I love that. Thank you, Susan. I'm glad
Awesome,
that
Susan.
you were with us. As always, I love your story. So, let's see. I
Raleigh,
wanted
right?
to recognize
Oh, tons of people.
tons of people, tons of places. Pittsburgh, Georgia, the home state. Tampa, Florida, New York, North Carolina, Newfoundland. Norway, Newfoundland, Loveland, Colorado, Maryland, El Paso, Texas, South Carolina, Tennessee, Illinois, the great Joe Red, Philly, Indiana, and I'm sure many, many more, but those are the ones I could write down real quick. So we're excited for all of them.
And of course, California was just on.
And California, obviously. Right? We were just here. So we think that that is
What's Trish
awesome.
got with the rally?
Trish has lots of people in the rally. Interesting times for the rally.
Trish, we got.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on, sorry.
There we go.
Yay, Trish.
So are we making the audible that all of these people, we're going to count them all?
Yep, call the audible.
Called the audible. All right. So I only have 7 RVPs that chimed in tonight.
Okay, only 7 RVPs are reported for the rally
Not
tonight.
counting.
Yep. Not counting or anything, but just counting. So we got Joe Red with 14. Mickey Peel's got 31. Walter Charles claims he has 65. Tammy Lewis, 47. Sean T. Walker has 42. And I'm going to butcher your name, and I'm really, really sorry. Merv Wiley Browse
Oh,
has
yeah.
8.
We've been seeing him.
Yep. And Darren Charles says he has 42.
There you go, Darren.
So between the Charles, we'll see.
All right.
Now,
Here's the audible, right? Everybody she just called. Can you bring me the list back?
yep, sure.
Now read it aloud.
So we're going to read it aloud one more
on
time.
mic.
Thank you. Hey, Trish. Joe Red, Mickey Peel, Walter Charles, Tammy Lewis, Sean T. Walker, Merv Willie Browse, and Darren Charles. This is your chance to really count your people, right?
We just got 3 more. Do you want them?
3 more base shops.
3 more base shops.
All right.
Sure, that's 10.
Sure.
Okay, double digit.
We
Here
know.
go. Doris Rodriguez, 24.
Doris. All
Doris
right.
Rodriguez,
Mary Hayes, 48.
Mary Hayes,
And Sylvia Robinson, 15.
Sylvia Robinson.
Wow.
All right, so count them down one more time. Go to the graphic if you can, Matt. So
All right.
what we have right now, I know the graphic says top 2 base shops. Andy likes to double digit, so we're doing
the
top
top
10
10
right now. If you're in these base shops that Darla's about to read out, you need to text that number and make sure you put your RVP's last name in there so we know who you're being counted for, and then put your solution number. All right, and we want to make sure that if you're not in the business yet, you can just put some X's. But the main thing is that you got to make sure that your RVP's name's on there, and we're only going to count 1 solution number per phone number. So we need to have unique phone numbers, just like you need a registration in your own name for Super Saturday. We want you to be reporting your rally attendance in your own name.
Correct. So you can't do 1 phone number and do a group text,
Yep.
right? Where all of your people are together. Everybody has to be responsible for themselves.
Yep.
Right? So here are the base
So make
shops
sure
we're waiting
you
to
and
hear
your people
from.
have this phone number. And then
Joe Red, Mickey Peel, Walter Charles, Tammy Lewis, Sean T. Walker. Uh-oh, Trisha's up here with me.
I am.
Hold on.
We're adding a couple more.
Merv Wiley Browse, Darren Charles, Doris Rodriguez, Mary Hayes, Sylvia Robinson. Uh-oh.
Hold
It's
on.
off the chain.
Well, here they're coming. Where'd it go? Belda Rubio,
Belda.
32. Linda Muse has, oh my gosh, it's clicking so fast I can't read it.
You guys are awesome.
I know. 17. And where's the last one? Oh, Wes and Shay, 55. And where'd the last one go? I think that's it.
All right, let's
we're
call
gonna
it
have to
there.
cut it off.
Let's call it right there. Thank you all very, very much. But now we've got 13 bases. Like, really, you got to count your people. You got to get your people to text in RVP, your name, and then their solution number, 1 per text, right? The Reds, Peel, both Charles, Walter and Darren, Tammy Lewis, Sean T. Walker, Merv Willie Browse, Doris Rodriguez, Mary Hayes, Sylvia Robinson, Belda Rubio, Linda Muse, and Wesson Shea.
And it needs to say Walter Charles or Darren Charles.
Yeah, you got to say which Charles, otherwise we don't know where to put you. But you all know this, right? So, all right, so that is awesome. That is awesome, you guys. I love seeing how many people participating. It's incredible.
Yep.
All right, from here, we're going to go.
Count them all, too, or Trish is going to count them all.
Trish is going to count them all. Rob and I are going to sit up here and wait.
Yeah.
Anybody need my abacus?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Get my slide rule out.
We might need it by then. All right, you guys, let's hear from our founder, Art Williams.
Now let me ask you this, folks. Why can't you be an RVP or a PRVP? Why can't you make $100,000? I know you look right now and you say, Art, I ain't got no college education. I ain't ever made over $30,000 a year. You know, I've got $70,000 in debt. I'm down and out like you can't believe. You can make every excuse in the world, folks. But I want to ask you this. Why can't you get it up again? Why can't you dream again? Why can't you hope again? Why can't you see yourself making $100,000 a year? Why can't you see yourself going to Hawaii or Europe? Why can't you see yourself being an SNSD? Why can't you do that? Nobody at A.O. Williams had a reason to in 1977. The odds were against us even surviving. I mean, it was stupid for us to sit there and talk about beating Prudential, going to Europe, becoming a millionaire. Stupid! Anybody in their right mind would have said, y'all are crazy, you're stupid, it's nothing but pump up. You're selling these people down the river. Just crazy. Anybody in the right mind would be stupid to go to work at A.O. Williams. The odds are against you even surviving. Why? Why can't you see yourself becoming an RVP? Why can't you see yourself building a company within a company? Why can't you see yourself building a national company? An international company? Why can't you see yourself producing RVPs underneath you that make $100,000 a year and $1 million a year? Why? 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 See, I believe in order to make that happen, you got to sell out, folks. You got to sell out. Everybody, maybe even your spouse, thinks you're stupid. Most spouses do think you're stupid when you sell out for a period of time, okay? Hey, you understand that, okay? Listen to me now, folks. You got to sell out. See, 50% of our leaders in A.O. Williams have settled into A.O. Williams. It's a job. The three things I see that just kills me when I talk to some of you. Some of you spent 12 years at A.O. Williams, 10 years, 5 years, or 20 years, okay, like me. And every day you spend your life pulling out fires. Just like that inner circle guy that I talked to the other day. I felt so sorry for him, I can't stand it because he listens to the negative people, you know, and it gets him down. And it's such a track, because this guy could be such a great leader, and you know, and he's got so many potentially great leaders in his organization, but he will never live to see the tremendous potential in his team as long as he lets the everyday problems beat you down and get you down, you know, just dealing with the negatives, putting out fires. Second thing I see is I see that, and I think the company has been guilty of hurting you a little bit in this area, but we've got some small thinking people. You know, we've reduced our guidelines now to where we talk about go out and do 3 recruits and you be an RM. Used to, you had to go out and do something like 10 or 15,000 a month, you know, for 3 months in a row to become a district, and do 40,000, you know, 3 months in a row to become an RVP. And we had such big dreams. Well, now, you know, we've given you sort of, and I'm happy for you. I wouldn't change, understand, okay? Because this is nothing but an asset. But if you're not careful, you can say, well, what's the minimum I can do? And you try to always do the minimum. You know, to get my overrides, you got to do $1,500 or $2,500. And so all of a sudden, we've reduced guidelines down to a point where if you want to, you can make a living doing minimums and you build bad habits. All of a sudden, you've lost your ability to dream big and balls to the wall and go do incredible things. Hey, folks, let me tell you something. One of the principles I live by in life, if you're going to be a head coach and you're going to build a team, you got to create an atmosphere of, I don't care how impossible it looks, we're going to go win. I don't care. You quit. then, you know, don't let the door hit you in the butt. You got to pull your own little red wagon, okay? I mean, I don't care what the competition says. I don't care what the press says. I don't care what nobody says. To hell with you. I mean, I'm going to win. I'm going to be somebody. And I know a lot of people, they look at me and say, well, Art, you're weird. And I know I'm weird. If people don't look at you as being weird, then you're going to be like them, right? And you're going to be average and ordinary, right? Now listen to me, folks. I still say some of you missing the boat. You're out there saying, yeah, right, yeah, all that kind of crap, okay? But some of you don't even know what the hell I'm talking about, okay? Now listen to me. See, without a big dream, folks, you're dead. Now, folks, think about this now. With 85 people in 1977, put your camera on that, 2 people making $100,000 a year, okay? Now, let me tell you the kind of dreams we had. Listen to this now, folks. Listen to it. We're going to beat Prudential. Prudential's a giant, a legend. We said we're going to beat Prudential and become the #1 producer of individual life insurance in the world. We said we're going to have conventions in Hawaii, in Europe. We said we're going to have hundreds of people that are going to be cash flowing over $100,000 a year. Do you understand, folks? Most of those 85 people were starving to death just like most of you right now. We said we're going to be a national company. Do you understand, folks? We were licensed in 15 states. We were operating in 3. But we said we're going to be a national company. More than that, we're going to be an international company. Folks, does that tell you anything? Does that tell you the kind of and look at what we built. Look at the millionaires we produced, #1 in the industry, all the wealth some of our families are giving. And we did that, I believe, because of the dream. We had a big dream, no reasons to think that you could make it. There was no way you could sit down and draw out a game plan that would make it happen, okay? You don't win in business that way. You win with a will to win. You win with a big dream. The dream fuels desire. That boundless kind of desire to be somebody and win. That's what this business is always about.
What you don't learn in college, but you better know if you want to win in business.
We were a warm market company. We didn't believe in knocking on a stranger's door, calling a stranger on a cold telephone. I never did any of that kind of crap.
They can become a regional vice president, right?
Multiply that times 2,500 companies.
Recruit 3 people. If you go recruit 3 people and you do that times 10, that's 59,000 people.
He's actually coached 3 generations of my family.
He's able to connect with us in a way that I've never seen any other communicator.
What you think this business is 10 times more than what you know.
All right, unbelievable videos. And how about Susan Carry-On? That was just, she's such, and look at the intensity, how excited she was, you know, having a shot to be the highest paid female this month in all of Primerica. I mean, just, you know what, and the simple things. She wanted a flower garden, and she's got the big old, probably 2-acre flower garden, you know, and it's just the dreams you have here. I mean, they start as small goals and dreams, and you got to be a weekly goal setter and a weekly goal hitter. You know, I mean, one of the ways you could look at it is there's 7 days in a week. So you want to start off by going at least 4 and 3. I mean, 4 days, do what the hell you said you're going to do at the beginning of the week. You get to 5, you're 5 and 2, and you get to 6, you're 6 and 1. And when you're 7 and 0, man, you're doing it every day. And you got to make a decision. And you know, I said this pretty much every week. 3 frogs on a log. 1 decides to jump off. How many are left? 3. Because I mean, making a decision, yes, that's important. You decide. But from there, you got to take action. You know, faith without works. We can talk all we want, and I look at where we are, and Susan really hit this in a big way. And it's, ever since this thing started, almost 3 months ago, it was crazy. And I remember John Addison being on here on Super Saturday and talking about, we were at the Super Bowl, February 8th. And the coronavirus was the last thing. People kind of talking a little bit about it. A bunch of us were together March 6th, 7th, and 8th in North Carolina, biggest crowd ever, kind of talking. It's like coming around. And now here we are kind of getting close to the back end of that. I mean, it's a horrible, terrible scourge, disease. And, I think it's a little bit different state than where it was in the initial days and all that kind of stuff. And you got to protect yourself. But the moving sidewalk is getting ready to end. I mean, we're getting ready to come out. It's a Zoom world, the Zoom boom. And it's going to be reality. And the question is, where are you going to be? I know I said this weeks ago, actually a month and a half, 2 months ago, when we started this on Tuesday nights. You need to embrace the technology. You need to get ahead of the curve. And I said this at the very beginning, and I said it as a guy who didn't want to embrace anything. I didn't want to do a Zoom. I got Rob and everybody coming around me, like, showing me how to do it. And Matt comes in, he's like, let me just show you this quick video because, you start off and you're looking like a big pig nose. You see your nostrils up here and you're looking over here. You're not even centered. All you got to do is you got to learn. It's a work in progress. But look at the people who embraced it. And moving out of it, it's going to change. I mean, we're not Zooming everything forever. Like Susan said, it'll be kneecap to kneecap, high five, a hug. We'll be back at those days. And a lot of times people said, well, are you sure it's going to be like that? Look, Monday a week ago was Memorial Day. I mean, in New York City, which is like the worst place in the world to be around coronavirus, I mean, that was the epicenter for the whole world. And you talk about it, looked like, the fence broke down and they hauled out like 50,000 people all together, elbow to elbow at the beach, just like that, And I'm not saying that's the right thing to do, but after a certain period of time, people are ready to go. And so one of the things that's going to happen, the moving sidewalk, the Zoom, the automation, all that kind of stuff, it's going to change. The question is, where are you going to be when that happens? Because the record setting, I'm telling you, my business, 40 years in, my business, the biggest month ever, recruiting and premium. We came in just shy of 2,500 recruits for the month. Just shy of 3,000, 2,981. We came in just shy of 3,000. And I was talking, Belda Rubio asked that 3. She said, are you sure? I said, yes, it's just 100 recruits a day times 30 days, 3,000. I mean, you think about it, that's insane because I was the guy, I got 10 my whole first year. And then I made a decision and took action. So big decisions are made at big events, and big decisions are made at big events on Zoom. So Super Saturday, where I got a contest, those of you who get the most people registered for Super Saturday, can you imagine the great content we've had on this program? And you're going to have access to that for your team, who has the most people individually registered, got to have in your name. They don't have their solution number in. You know how to put that in. I mean, they got to have a name for each person, and you got an opportunity to get that. We'll have to go this week and next week. You got an opportunity to go get that. Big decisions made at big events. I mean, I don't care what big event. I had people say, well, Andy's so generous, and he's let all these people come to Colorado and Winston-Salem and other hierarchies come in. I've had some people in my own business say, you got all these other hierarchies in here. And I go to them and I go, well, how many people do you have in your hierarchy in this room? I know it's me, our hierarchy. Okay, great. Andy's army, Amy's army. Whatever. Okay, that's great. Got all that. Get bigger, go home. So that's our team. How many people you got in the room? I don't care. When Larry Weidel and Bob Turley, when they were on the meetings, I knew every single time how many people I had. And I told you guys, even with Zoom, I know it seems corny and crazy and they can't figure it out, can't take their fat fingers like me, punch the buttons and get the text right. What was that, Andy Young, 964? I mean, you can't even get the 999 right. I don't know how to make it easier. We can do Andy Young 123. I don't know. That might be easier. But bottom line is you got to embrace that and you got to compete. And yeah, even in the Zoom world, if you're like, oh yeah, I don't care about the, you better be winning everything. I tell you guys all the time, if there's 2 raindrops coming down a windshield, you're over there driving, I'm on the passenger side, and I bet you $1, I want my raindrop to come down the windshield faster than your raindrop. I love winning. I hate losing more than I love winning. So we got an event coming up, Keith Otto, unbelievable, Keith Otto and Sam Shepard. I mean, those guys, that's mind-blowing, and you're going to have over an hour of content from those guys. I mean, the thing, PFN is great. You got a Monday show, they give each person 10, 15 minutes, and it's boom, let it rip, and you're done. We get done here, and it's like, Susan, like, ask her about the family, the weddings. Yeah. I spent almost $500,000 on weddings, so I wanted some other people to do that. So I told her daughters, sitting there all at the bar, I'm like, make sure you hit them up. They're making over $1 million. You know they're making over $1 million a year. You have the wedding of the century, you know. So they ended up spending the money, you know. Mike Sharp, if I don't ask him last week about what happened on the vacation, what happened with Italy, what happened with Israel, and then he talks about Monte Carlo and the second biggest shot, 4 stories high. Monte Carlo, I mean, your head could explode. There's no more money anywhere than Monte Carlo. He flies his whole family, mom, dad, the kids, everybody in there. But I had to get that question. That's the one thing about Super Saturday. We don't just get the regular speech, which is great. We love that. But a little more insight. You know, Bill Arender talking about the taxi. You know, and I had to kind of jog his mind. He said, oh, yeah, the taxi. And when he got done, you could see it in his eyes. One of my favorite stories ever. And that's the truth. Are you going to miss it? Are you going to sit on the sidelines? Are you going to reach for the door and get in? It's all your choice. And so we're in an amazing point right now because we're further away from the beginning. We're closer to coming out of it. The question is, where are you? Where's your head? And Super Saturday could be the determining factor for you, whether you have 2, 3, 5, 10, 20. I can tell you this. Compound people works just like compound interest. The difference in, well, 6 in the 72, okay, or 12 in the 72, it's twice as much. 6 people, 12 people. It is not twice as much. You know, on our chart, it's 32,000 against 512,000. It ain't double, it's exponentially bigger. And the difference between having 6 people on here and 12 people on here, you don't know what those other 6 are going to do. You don't know which one's the one. I promise you that it's scary. That's why you got to turn over every stone, and you got to do everything you can to get the biggest crowd out there to, yes, this event, and it'll turn to the next event. And I promise you, we get to Colorado, and however it's going to work out between now and then, because we're going to be on the front cutting edge of that, I promise you that as we come out. By the time we get to Colorado, we'll find out who made a decision to run the play and decide to get big, because it's get big or go home, because it's an SNSD factory. Oh, so with that, Darla and Rob.
All right, you guys, hold on one second because we are gonna.
You doing calculations?
No, well, I'm not gonna calculate, but I'm gonna say the text number one more time.
Okay, yeah.
All right, 404. Everybody from all 13 base shops that we read out loud right before. 404-465-1830. Text it in. Be quick. Be quick. Super Saturday, we had some little points about that we want to go over because I have to be the mom. So, Matt, if you've got those graphics, that would be awesome.
I just want to say for the record, Rob did it, not me, Mom.
Okay.
Can I watch you beat him?
We will take that up when we get done here. All right, Super Saturday, June 13th, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Eastern Time. Gives the people on the West Coast a chance to join us, not in the middle of the night. You saw all the incredible lineup of speakers and the beginnings of kind of getting that feel of us being back to what's going to be our new normal.
Yep.
Not sure what that is yet, but every day is a new day, so we're still working towards that. Remember, you need to register now, a ticket in your own name.
Absolutely.
Not like 10 and right, you need
buying blocks of tickets buys you nothing.
Not really, right? If you can, and you can register right up until Friday, right?
Yep.
But don't wait. If you know what you're doing now, don't wait till the very end. The end is for new people who you've just brought on. Put their name in.
Yeah. If you want to be in charge, if you want to be in recognition, you got to have a ticket in your own.
And one more time, what does it cost? So what are you waiting for anyway? What does it cost?
Exactly, it's free.
Oh, free.
Free.
Oh, yeah. Wait till the last minute. It's free. Gotcha.
There's no reason to wait.
Had 800 people on. I don't know why you're not registered.
Almost 900.
Yeah. Getbigorgohome.com.
Right? So recognition cutoff, though, and I'm going to be hard and fast about it because there's going to be so many people. It'll take us a little time to work through it. June the 7th, midnight. Boom. Cut you off Eastern time.
Yep.
So you only have till 9 o'clock if you're on the West Coast. So do it now, and then you don't have to worry about it.
And now, is that a midnight, Primerica midnight, or a...
No, that's Darla midnight.
Okay.
Darla midnight.
Darla midnight.
And if you don't...
Which is 10.
If you don't believe her, ask Matt. When Mama cuts you off, you're cut off.
You're cut off. Oh, my gosh, that's funny. Okay, so next, we would like to talk about Keystone.
Oh, man.
We were talking with some people this afternoon. Andy and I were like, how much fun is Keystone? We say that every week to you guys because we could talk about it for the next 2 days, and you will not know till you come.
You have to see it.
You have to see it. You have to come experience 9,600 feet in the air. Not like that, the good part of it.
They sell oxygen.
They sell oxygen. They sell altitude
everywhere,
adjustments for everybody that you're good to go. But imagine it's like a meeting unlike any of our other meetings. People from everywhere in the entire country, centrally located. You get a great opportunity to network with other people and just learn all kinds of cool things, all about the message, moving the business the right way down the tracks.
Yep. Yeah. Great way to kick off the next year.
Yes. Yes. That followed by our very early January meeting, first weekend in January. So, Matt, if we could roll the promo for Keystone, that would be awesome.
Never miss a meeting, even if there's a hurricane.
Y'all want more? We decided we want more.
Get back there.
It's gonna be a great school, everybody.
Kick it.
You want more, you gotta ask for more.
This is for the studs. This ain't for the GP, the general population.
What you need to hear, what you need to know to build your business big.
And I want you to know it doesn't get better than what you've got.
This is the place, this is the time, and you're the one.
You have to decide. You literally have to kill all other options because this is so worth it.
All right. Hey, just unbelievable. Keystone, you know, I went there. I was talking about this with Larry Weidel the other day. He took me there in 1985, and I was totally blown away, man. I thought I'd seen mountains, you know, going like in the Blue Ridge and, you know, some of the smaller mountains in Georgia and Maryland, out in Virginia, different places. You go out to Colorado, dude, you're talking about something completely different. And then you see the ski resorts. And, you know, Keystone's like that. If you have a Christmas tree and you have the little village with the train and everything under it, you know, with everything lit up and the snow everywhere. We were showing a picture today of one of the restaurants over there, restaurant, The Goat. The Goat, open till 4 a.m. It's soup and whiskey and all kinds of other food and fun stuff. But the snow was piled up. And the challenge is people think, well, what about the snow? I mean, we had 4 feet of snow out there one time we were there. Here's going to be snow, but they all the roads. And we ain't driving around that much. You're right at the village, the little Christmas tree village. So it's just so much fun. And anything that I ever did, everything I ever had exposure to, Bob Turley let me ride on his jet. He had a jet, you know. And immediately I asked him, well, how does this work? And well, we got 4 extra seats. I said, could I bring 4 people next time? Yeah, sure, you got to get them to Florida. Okay, so I got tickets for 4 people to come to Florida from D.C. and put them on the plane. They come up, and we do a meeting. And then 4 people go back in the 4 seats, and I just flew them back. So, I mean, it's a little bit tricky. But you figure, I mean, it's 8 seats for free on a damn private jet. Come on. Anytime I got anywhere, Sandy Weil at his guest house up in Greenwich, Connecticut, we put that in play where, you know, they had it was Jamie Dimon, chairman of J.P. Morgan Chase right now. I mean, last man standing, probably the most successful, biggest, most talked about guy on Wall Street. Jamie was right there by Sandy Weil. I gave him Primerica jacket. I would call Sandy and then Jamie and say, Jamie Dimon, I'm bringing a bus up. Can you give us a tour? Show us around. I mean, this is the guy who runs everything in business in the world today, but coming up. And every time he did that, we'd give him a jacket, bring him some candy. You know, Chuck Prince was a guy who was from San Diego, and he'd never seen a Goo cluster. He ate one time. He's like, what the hell is that? That's crack with chocolate on it. You know, it's like, and San Diego, I guess, they didn't have Goo Clusters. And I don't think I'd ever eaten one at the time. I was like, well, yeah, that's pretty daggum good. Peanuts and chocolate, can't go wrong with that, little caramel. I took him boxes of Goo. This guy ended up being CEO of Citi, Chuck Prince. But it's always about, I don't care, everybody, and I don't care if they're a billionaire. Everybody's like 8 years old, 3rd grade, got a sign around their chest that says, make me feel special. Say something nice about me. Call my name. Some people got flashing lights that are like, hey, really say something nice about me. Just do it. It don't cost nothing to be nice. It didn't cost anything to give them something. And Sandy Weil, billionaire. You go to New York City, it's Sloan Kettering, Weil Memorial Cancer Center. Carnegie Hall, you walk, it's the Weil Recital Hall because he's the chairman of Carnegie Hall. We had our shareholders meetings there every year in April when we were part of the city. I was a speaker one time with Jenny Carter, the great Jenny Carter, and the first female to make over $1 million. She passed on in 2010. But we were on stage at Carnegie Hall to speak, but before, Sandy would always have the flag out, and he'd do the Pledge of Allegiance at every shareholder meeting and sing the national anthem. So you got Carnegie Hall full of shareholders and Sandy Weil, Jamie Dimon, all these people up there. And I told Jenny Carter, I said, and at that time, Jenny was probably 82 years old. And I said, Jenny, you know we're on stage at Carnegie Hall. And we're going to sing the national anthem, which means we're singing on stage live at Carnegie Hall, singing loud and proud, and the critics aren't going to tear us up tomorrow. This is going to be awesome. I mean, I'm thinking any little thing you could do. Then we started bringing our guys to shareholders meeting. Take a busload up there and go sit in the audience. You just got to find a hole in the fence and bring a busload through it. I mean, that's how you build a business. Whatever you see, whatever expands your vision, and make sure you get around the people and expand your vision. For me, you know, I've got Linda Muse. I owe her a call back right now. Mickey Peel, you guys are rocking it, you know, because you check in, text with me, call me. I mean, there's probably 5 or 6, 7 contests in the last 24 hours I've been kind of helping people with. Well, you get some ideas. What's some things I can do? Don't sit there. I mean, when you're out of ideas, call. I'm talking about me, okay? RVPs, utilize that. That's what I always did. That's why I was around Bob Turley, Larry Waddell, Bobby Buisson, John Addison, Sandy Weil, Art Williams. Maintain those relationships. Man, they expand your vision like you can't believe. I was at a restaurant today. We were over at Papados. It's like, you know, this is all you can eat. And everybody's like, well, it's like all you can eat. Keep ordering. They'll keep bringing food. We got our guy DeWitt Salad with the bowl team. We had they had a contest, and I took him out to eat, and he ate a steak. And I mean, he tore that steak up. He ain't that big, but compared to me. He tore that steak up, and I said, "You want another one?" He's like, "Can I have another one?" I said, "Hell yeah!" And then he proceeded to take his fork and put it in, and friggin' ate the whole thing all the way around without ever cutting it, man. I was so proud of him. It's like little Andy finishing off that chicken wing. I mean, it's the little things that get, I get excited just thinking, it's the little things that get me fired up. But you find something that you want to do, you find something you want to move your team, ask for help. Don't try to figure everything out yourself. We got people who plowed the ground, paved the roads for you. Make a decision to quit messing around. Let's get it done. I'm telling you, we in Colorado like that. We're going to be talking about what a great year it was, hopefully for you. It's going to be, I mean, for us and a lot of other people, it's going to be the greatest year we ever had. It's your choice. Crisis, opportunity, Chinese character. Crisis, opportunity, same character. Which one's it going to be for you? So I think we might have a drum. We have drum roll, Rob? Do we have? I know we got.
We've talked about
no drum roll. You know what? I'll get little Andy a drum set for Christmas.
I need samples. I need samples for the soundboard. I need a better AU. This one is I made it up. With the sound, I stacked the sound of just like the three of us in the studio saying it and layered it on top of itself and slightly offset it to make it sound like there's more people. Probably should pitch them up and down.
We need a group.
I need to. Anyway,
we need a live group.
We need to see Chris Gray.
We need Chris Gray. I need more Chris Grays. All I've got is a come on.
Hey,
I don't even have a. This is good.
Time out. Can you put what Art say? Put that camera back on me.
That's what Art used to say.
We got celebrities coming to Super Saturday. They're going to be right here at the studio.
Yes.
Peggy Hightower coming in. We got Chris Gray. We got, there they are, on location celebrity. We're going to have a party on Friday. And no, you can't come. If you're on that list, hey, you're a celebrity. Those are the people that are coming in. We're going to have live stuff on, the party. We're going to, from out right here while we're doing the Super Saturday 10 to 2. I mean, we're going to have some fun moving through this thing. Be there.
That's awesome. We're excited, and then we can get our stuff. We can get applause.
Yeah, we'll get applause.
Chris Gray will be here. We can get
pulling a drum roll.
They were on the
technically,
list, right?
I'm running it through music software, so if I really wanted to, I could find one and tap it really fast. We'll work on that.
Well, we're going to work on that. All right, Trish, you're up. Rally winners.
Oh my gosh.
You guys were about buried her.
No, I don't. I actually just caught up.
OMG.
We got it now. The polls are closed.
The polls are closed. We're done.
All right.
I am impressed.
She's impressed.
I am.
That's hard.
I know it is.
Trish don't get
Very
impressed.
hard.
She don't get impressed.
I do get impressed.
Okay, she's impressed.
All right. So I'm going to call off the top 3.
Starting at number 3.
Starting at number 3.
Number
Sean
3.
T. Walker had 42.
Sean Walker.
He had the number that he said he had.
But
Good job, Sean.
still no Vaseline for Sean.
Okay. We'll let you go
Sean,
with that.
Sean had how many?
42.
42.
Dang.
Exactly the number he said he
What
had.
he said he had.
Good job.
We are. What is it? They were. Who they? What was that?
And then
We don't know.
Was it Herman? He said that?
and then I have to welcome back
who we thought
our
they
sweet
were.
Belda Rubio.
Yay,
Let 'em off the hook.
Belda, number 2.
She said she had 32. She clocked in at 43.
Wow.
Wow.
Dang.
Belda said she had
Good
32,
job,
got
Belda.
43.
She is rocking. And then our little Miss Mary Hayes,
Kicking
another
everybody's
one,
tail.
said she had 48. She brought 48.
Oh, wow.
She's the winner.
Mary Hayes, you're going to have an
Mary Hayes,
entire
48.
collection of the SNSD Factory Cups coming
right.
your way. I shall bring it with me in the morning again.
We had some great
Congratulations.
numbers.
I'm going to send you the Zoom and you guys can get on quick. We'd like to see 48 on the Zoom too.
Yeah. No, it'd be
That's
awesome.
part of the deal, right? So even if you're shared, let's get a count for all that. So that is very cool.
Very cool.
What an incredible show. One more just reminder about Super Saturday. If we could look at the celebrity slide since you've got it right there. You guys, these are incredible people. They are people that we haven't seen in so long. We're so excited to see people. And June 13th to from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. all of our on location guests. We're going to revamp our studio here a little bit.
Yep.
Have all kinds of new and exciting things coming in. So go register because it's free.
Free.
Remember, free. No reason to wait.
Free.
Right? And then recognition cutoff, I don't think I have this graphic for you, is June the 7th, midnight. So midnight, my time, Eastern time, that's it. You cannot, you can continue to register, but you won't be able to be included in recognition. And one other thing I haven't said in a couple weeks is if you're a new RVP to any event that we've done at Get Big or Go Home, you need to go out to the getbigorgohome.com website, go to downloads and download the new RVP form. That'll allow the home office to pull your numbers so that we can include your whole team in recognition.
Yeah, that's the other piece of the puzzle to doing
Yes.
recognition.
Yes.
We need both a ticket in your name to know that you're there, and if you're new to this whole program, we need to make sure that your RVP has filled out that RVP form so we can get that report from the home office. So.
And if you're new, welcome.
I may have
You
a drum
are gonna
roll.
love
I don't know if
this.
it works.
No.
I got work to do. That's
You're
what I
gonna have
get
to get
after
on that, right?
3
All
seconds
right.
of work. It was weak, Matt.
Weak, oh, from the percussion major
Yeah.
in the background.
Did
Weak.
Trish call Belda sweet?
She did call her Sweet Belda
Sweet
Rubio.
Belda Rubio. Dang.
Yikes. We'll have to
Sweet.
probably talk about that on Saturday.
Yeah.
All right, you guys, another incredible Tuesday. More and more people are joining us every single week. You guys are awesome. Use the
bigger
little
and
thumbs
bigger
up on
and
the
bigger.
feed. That helps us.
Yep.
How does it help us?
I don't know.
I'm
But
doing
we're
it right
supposed to
now.
do it. So everybody do. Not that version.
We're
The
on
one
YouTube,
on
and
the
I'm
screen.
thumbs up. There we go. The only closest I'm getting to YouTube. These fingers won't be there. It's right here.
So, all right, everybody remember to do that every time you join us on
I think
Tuesday.
the thumbs up, they attract the trolls. That's what it
No, I think it did tonight.
Okay.
Right? I put a new button on the Get Big or Go Home website, top right-hand corner, says Tuesday training. Click on it, and it takes you right where you need to be. So make sure you share that with all of your friends.
Yep.
And everybody on your team. Anything else?
That's it.
I think we're going to call it a night.
Super Saturday is going to be huge. Do not miss it.
We will see you all on Tuesday.